There's a scene that takes place in episode 5 of Squid Girl Season 2 that, without fail, has sent shivers down my tentacles upon each and every viewing. A scene so horrific that I refuse to ever bring this to light unless I hit $100 on patreon.com/KeksiWexy, link in the description. And here I lay, 7 months later, realizing that I've been making the same exact Squid jokes for almost a year straight now. What this scene plays off as nothing more than a harmless gag has made me rethink everything I thought I knew about this girl. Or is she a squid? I just don't know. Maybe you should decide for yourself. If you think you can handle it, lay your tentacles on this scene. Notice anything off? Here, let me play it for you again. Now for my blind viewers who can't see what just happened, Squid Girl just got ricocheted in the face by a ball because she's a big stupid squidiot and it made her nose bleed. But wait, that's not blood. That's ink. Right? You might be thinking, Keksi, who cares? She's a squid, of course she inks, but have you ever stopped to wonder, what actually is the ink that she's constantly shown to be secreting? Where does the ink stop and the blood begin? Does she even have blood? Is this even a nosebleed anymore? Or a nose ink? Now, assuming that you haven't gone into cardiac arrest just yet, let's visit Season 1, Episode 1 to a scene that you're all probably well aware of. Here you go. That's a lot of ink. Or is it blood? Did we just watch Squid Girl projectile vomit 3 liters of blood into Chizuru's face? I don't think anybody would disagree with me that this is the same substance. I mean, they literally say that this is ink, and to avoid any confusion, I will be referring to Squid Girl's ink sneezes as sninks from here on. Out of pure curiosity, I looked into why nosebleeds even happen and found that the rupturing of blood vessels within the nose is what causes this, which to me begs the question, why are Squid Girl's blood vessels made out of ink? Now, the body is known to have 3 different kinds of blood vessels, being arteries, veins, and capillaries. Within the nose, the internal carotid artery and the external carotid artery are the main culprits that make up the blood supplied to our little nostrils. So in other words, we can conclude that out of the 3 types of blood vessels, at least one of them being the arteries is completely drowned in cephalopod ink. It's deeply disturbing considering that the other girls abuse her bloody pulp of ink and serve it to their trusting and loyal customers, oblivious to the Lovecraftian liquid that irks its way through their digestive tract. I can't be the only one who sees the issue here, right? Or should I say, the blood tissue. It's clear that Squid Girl is not only a squid, but a girl as well, and if we're taking into account that she indeed possesses the anatomy of the female body, then that would mean that Squid Girl menstruates ink? The numbers here just aren't adding up to me, and honestly, the real question we should be asking is how much of her is squid and how much of her is kid? Now, I'm gonna go out on a tentacle here and say that most of my viewers don't bleed ink. I mean, I think we can all remember a time in our lives where we got the ever-living shit beat out of us, but not a squid. You see, researchers believe that the squid is on par with dogs in terms of intelligence, which says a lot. I mean, not to insult her or anything, but Squid Girl is not the brightest squid in the ocean, considering that she falls for traps like this, and I can't remember that she just let a kid... What the fuck is that word? Kleptomaniac into her house. However, something constantly brought up over and over again is that if Squid Girl takes off her squid hat, she will... die. For lack of a better term, this is terrifying. In terms of intelligence, Squid Girl strays far closer to squid than kid. I mean, just the mere sight of someone taking off their squid hat makes her think they died. It seems she looks more towards the cap than the body to show signs of life, and aside from her hair tentacles, nothing about Squid Girl's body from the outside would make you think that she's a squid. She doesn't sweat ink or drool ink for the most part. She also cries a lot, maybe even too much. She's kind of a bitch, but from what I can see, this isn't ink. So that leaves one place left. What's actually under Squid Girl's hat? Well, unfortunately, we never do get to see what happens if she tries taking off her hat, except no, we do. There's an entire episode for it, actually, and when she tries taking it off, we can see that her head starts bleeding ink. Her head starts bleeding ink. Her head starts bleeding ink. It's funny because not even Squid Girl realizes that she can't take this off until she tries, so maybe this is a side effect of her short-term memory, I don't know. But with that, I think ink's the last tentacle in the coffin that Squid Girl can only bleed ink. I mean, let's just take into account how intricate the brain is for a second. I mean, all 3 forms of blood vessels reside here, unsurprisingly, and like I discussed earlier, we found that at the very least, her arteries are entirely composed of ink. Now, I could have gone deeper into this earlier, like how only one blood vessel type being plagued with ink would make no sense, but I purposely left it for later because it's way more dramatic this way, and I needed some kind of plot twist, and yeah, Squid Girl's blood is entirely composed of ink, right? Well, yeah, or at least that's what we thought. While in the middle of writing this video, I had gone back to watch the Squid Girl OVAs, and in a shocking twist of fate, at 4 minutes into the first special, Squid Girl tries messing with an indestructible DS only to find that when she pushes too hard, she bleeds. To be blunt, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I still can't, actually. It only lasted a fraction of a second, but we can see after Squid Girl tears open her flesh, that's blood. And what comes afterwards? Ink. So what does it mean? This has raised far more questions than answers for me, admittedly. I mean, why did Squid Girl just bleed with actual blood? This wasn't just any little snink or nose ink either. No, this was crimson blood. And this is human blood. Yeah, the copper compound hymocyanin is present in squid blood, which gives it a blue tinge rather than the traditional red that I'm sure we're all used to seeing very often. So then if her blood isn't blue, but she still bleeds out ink, then what is this? Well, this is something I'd like to call Squid's box. You don't need to know what's in the squid box. Nobody needs to know what's in the squid box. So what are you gonna do? It's like they say, curiosity killed the squid, but if this is what you choose, I'm sorry. Let's jam. We know that Squid Girl is easily susceptible to manipulation. In all instances where somebody puts on a squid hat, even remotely similar to hers, she believes they become one of her kind. It's odd because throughout the entire show, we never do see another squid like her even once. I mean, her rarity is a focal point in of itself because people think she's like an alien or something. I mean, these MIT specialists don't know what the fuck this bitch is, so like, why would I? Who do you think I am? I'm a fucking YouTuber, okay? Leave me alone. And that has led me to this. I think there's an underlying reason why Squid Girl is obsessed with the ever-elusive white cap. What if it's because the body isn't what's important? Now you're probably thinking, well yeah, obviously if someone got decapitated in front of our face, we'd probably think it's bad too, but that's not what I mean, okay? I'm not dumb. Ika Musume is unusually focused on this hat. Like, even after it flies off their head, she grieves over the cap even if the body accompanying it is perfectly fine. So this is the hypothesis I've come to. Did Squid Girl take control over a random girl's body and is parasitically controlling her through the squid cap? Have you ever considered that we never see Squid Girl swim out of the ocean? It's just in the first person perspective at the very beginning of the show. I think Squid Girl killed a random child swimming in the ocean and took over her body as her own. Now you're probably thinking, that was a pretty big leap, and you're right, but look, I have evidence, so as you you can see that in this video that the ants are getting parasitically controlled by this fungus, and it literally hijacks their mind and turns them into zombie ants, and that's pretty scary. Like, she can't remember things from mere seconds ago, so I think she forgot she even killed somebody. And the ink sac that's supplying her body with this ink lies within the skull. This split second where we can see blood suddenly interrupted by a spray of ink is attempting to cover up that an innocent child had once owned this body. The squid brain now supplies the body with the parasitically lethal dose of ink to a point where it retains full sentience. So let me leave you with this. Is she a squid or a girl? Let me know what you think. Bye bye. What is up, my fellow Chibits? So on my Patreon, I made a tier called Super Mega Bazaka Iliafan, and if you donate $50, you get a kiss, and that's it. And I never expected anyone to actually do it, but since my last video, I've gotten 3 of them, so thank you mhub47, and Mr. Moogle. And why do you ask, who donated at the end of the month, so he basically got charged twice, so I'm just gonna give you more kisses because I feel bad. Alright, and thank you to my $10 Super Mega Ilia fans, Curious, Jijibbers, Cal, Red Raccoon, Sug on This Cock, the Epic Droid, and all my other patrons. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.